Welcome. In today's crash course video, we'll be covering the Texas Juvenile Justice Department.
Young individuals between the ages of 10 and 17 at times find themselves in some kind of trouble. The troubles can vary from simple charges such as delinquency, truancy, to drugs, and even murder. These youth will find themselves in the juvenile justice system. The juvenile justice system is there to give these individuals an opportunity to build a new foundation to become better citizens. In order to do so, these young men and women need to be provided with the proper resources.
Today we'll be focusing on the educational portion of the Texas Juvenile Justice Department and the funding.
The Juvenile Justice Department, as it stands today, was established on December 1st, 2011. The objective of the department is to promote a safer Texas by providing positive outcomes for juveniles through community-based and statewide programs. The mission of the program is to transform young lives and create a safer community. The Texas Juvenile Justice Department provides residential and parole services to juveniles in the system. They also provide funding and training, offer technical assistance, and collect and analyze data from the local juvenile probation programs. Per their website, the Texas Juvenile Justice System states they operate a year-round school for incarcerated youth ages 10 through 17. They further state their goal is to provide each youth quality academic and vocational experience in order to equip them for successful reentry into the community. Upon admission to the Texas Juvenile Justice System, each youth is given an orientation and assessment test. Each youth also receives psychological and language proficiency evaluations. In addition, each juvenile completes standardized testing in reading and math to determine grade level. In addition to year-round programs, the Texas Juvenile Justice Department also has an alternative education program called Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program. The goal of both programs is to reduce delinquency, increase offender accountability, and to rehabilitate offenders. The Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program assists juveniles in achieving grade level performance. With two educational systems within the Texas Department of Juvenile Justice, one would assume all offenders are being given an education and a chance of being successful in our community. Of the 254 counties, Texas only has 31 counties operating an alternative juvenile justice school. Currently, there are 6 Texas juvenile justice schools in the entire state of Texas. As is the case with public schools, the Texas juvenile justice system also faces a staff shortage and a lack of funding. These schools face a unique problem though. They have a high majority of students that are in need of some mental health treatment, and a high level of students are performing below grade level. With the unique problems and staff shortages, it is not hard to see stories such as that of Nestor Rodriguez. Nestor entered the juvenile justice system at the age of 12. He started with small offenses such as skipping school that landed him on probation. He then escalated to offenses such as stealing, damaging property, and drug offenses. This landed him behind bars, doing time in the juvie system. Nestor's last grade completed was the 5th grade. While in the system, he showed aggression to fellow inmates and staff. He refused to do schoolwork, and due to his behavior, staff did not argue with him. The system simply did not have the resources to dedicate the intense treatment that individuals such as this youth required. Nestor was left to his own demise. Instead of reforming his behavior, he would make friends within the system that would show him how to be more delinquent once out. At the age of 18, Nestor now sits in the Travis County Jail, charged with attempting to steal a car, waiting to be released, and with little hope at a bright future, with nothing more than a 5th grade education. Even with all these problems, the juvenile justice education system is striving to make improvements. Per Barbara Kessler, kids are in secure facilities in the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. They continue to work on getting their high school diploma or GED. The department is keeping stats on that. Our high schools inside the facilities are certified through Texas and provide all classes and materials needed to meet TEA requirements. That is a big part of what the Juvenile Justice Department does, because the youth need to continue their schooling. We even have high school football and basketball teams that play competitively within their district. The Tjjd is constantly working to improve its operations and create a positive environment for youth in secure and non-secure facilities, as well as youth on parole.
In order to provide services such as family or individual counseling, substance abuse prevention, mentoring, and other forms of treatment for the juveniles to better themselves for the future, financial stability is essential for the department. According to the annual report to the Governor and Legislative Board, the Texas Juvenile Justice Department allocates its funds through grants which allow the 167 juvenile boards to operate probation departments, juvenile detention, and correctional facilities. Executive Director David Rayleigh implies in the report that although the Texas juvenile justice system is granted money by the state, federal, and county governments, the county governments are the primary source of funding. The state financial assistance contract, according to the annual report, monitors the way that grants are being utilized, as the department should be following the terms and conditions of the contract. Assuring that grants are being spent in a quality and efficient manner is important for the government, and a few ways to do so is through reports, on-site monitoring, and independent audit requirements. With the quarterly grant reports required by each juvenile department, the state financial assistance contract can assure the expenditures are allowed under certain grants, such as different treatment programs. Following the report requirements are on-site monitoring, which strongly emphasize that evidence on the quality spending is the best proof to meeting requirements, such as interviewing the chief, juvenile probation officer, financial manager, county auditor's office, or treasurer's staff. Lastly, the TJJD has independent audit requirements each fiscal year. Audits pick apart expenditures, making sure that they correspond with the designated grant. If in the case that an audit has too many questionable expenditures and it's not resolved, it can result in suspended funds.
Work still remains to be done to fully understand why these youth break the law to begin with and why some get caught up in reoffending. If policymakers want solutions to the high cost of imprisonment, there is good reason to try and better understand this situation. All Texans can make a difference when it comes to the health of the Juvenile Justice Department. Texans can make their voices heard at the polls and support legislation to better fund the system. Texans can also ask for stronger legislation and laws to protect these young individuals from staff that seek to abuse and exploit them. This will go a long way in the further development and improvement of the system. It is the hope that reformed youth will lead to less adult offenders and in turn a stronger and safer Texas.